My mom keeps choosing people who hurt me over me. I Transam 16 have noticed that my mother keeps choosing people who hurt me rather than choosing me. Recently, my mom's friend, who I've complained about before on here, we'll call her Shelly, has caused some more issues. When I was at work, I was unable to take a break till the last 30 minutes. This is because there was a big event going on and lots of people kept coming in and checking things out. I work at a dollar store. I couldn't walk away from my register for 1 minute. It was non-stop customers. I texted my mom's friend that I knew she'd be picking me up and I would be out later than I'd like because legally I had to take my 30 and 10-minute breaks. I told her 40 minutes in advance. She started complaining that I was making her oldest daughter late for her after-school thing because I refused to take my breaks. I would have taken my break if I had a chance, but I couldn't. Finally, once on my break, I stepped outside to get away from everyone. My manager was with me and we were talking until Shelly called me. She started yelling at me saying I was disrespectful and ruining her daughter's things because I'd be late. She demanded for me to come to her car so she can take me home while on my break. I told her legally I can't leave and until my break is over. Anything work-related on a break, I'd get fired right along with my manager. She kept yelling while I was explaining everything till my break was over. She had me crying and frustrated because she threatened to leave me or tell my mom that I wasn't listening. I told her I refused to get into her car and that I'd rather walk home. I didn't understand why she didn't just drop her kid off while waiting for me. She blamed me for her being late and drove off. I was crying and my manager heard everything, which only embarrassed me more. She got me inside where I went to call my mom and her ex-GF who we live with RN. Of listening, she started yelling at me saying that I was wrong for being on a break and that I ruined everything. She threatened to call my father to pick me up. My father, mind you, is the same man who for years would beat me till I bled for anything. If he was mad, I'd get beat. If he was drunk, I'd get beat. If I got a C on a test, I'd get beat. He also would do the same to my mother, so the fact she'd let me get into a car with him alone got me mad. Like, why would you let your kid in a car with a man who abused you for years? Anyway, I told her I'd rather walk home and stolen than get into the car with either one of them. She said, fine, go ahead, and hung up. My manager, who again heard everything, comforted me. She was on my side and tried to call the ex-GF again. Once the ex-GF picked up, she was upset at my mom and Shelly for doing this to me and agreed for my manager to take me home. After that day, my mom promised she'd never talk to Shelly again, but she still does. She goes over to her house, smokes weed with her. They still are friends. When I confronted her about this, she said sorry to me. She feels bad. She is pregnant. We can't stress her out. It just made me realize my mom will never choose me. She didn't choose me when my dad was beating me. She didn't choose me when I was getting S, A, and bullied at school. She didn't choose me when my uncle, her brother, choked me. She'll never actually choose me till I'm begging and crying for help. Even then, she'll still go back. I don't understand what I did for my mother to do this to me. My manager, who I see as a mother figure, says it's how some people are and we can't do anything to change them. She'll notice she made the wrong choices when I leave, but I don't want to wait for her to see. I want her to choose me. She says I gotta go over to Shelly's place because she's going, but I don't wanna. When I used to go, Shelly would make me do her 5-day-old dishes, make dinner, babysit her youngest kid, my little brother, and my baby stepbrother, walk her dogs, and clean. Her oldest just ignores me unless I buy her something, so I'm alone and working over there. I hate being her maid. I hate that my mom never chooses me. I hate that I'll never have a single parent that actually listens. Am I selfish for wanting them to never talk? I want her to actually listen to me for once. When I asked her to listen, all I get is her crying about how she's so hurt by my actions. Her ex-GF is now trying to convince me to forgive my mom and Shelly. Shelly because I'm stressing them out, but I don't wanna. They'll do it again if I do, right? Please follow for more.